All right, guys, for your sun, moon, and rising, this whole long video that I just made, watch for your sun, moon, and rising. This is the elements, full readings for each of the elements and their signs. I am working on doing your individual full sign readings. Yes, and if you want to book a session with me, personal, one-on-one, I have many options to do that. You can DM me, you can email me at hellowhosaidthat@gmail.com. And please do or don't ignore the shit on my face in the first video. But the reading was the reading, so it must be left on here. All right, bye. All right, as promised, summer solstice reading for the elements. Today I'm doing water signs, so Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. We are in Cancer season. I am a Scorpio. All right. In general, what I'm feeling, this might just be my own personal projections here, but I think that this might fit true for you. If you have your a water sign in your sun, moon, or rising, please excuse the giant flies buzzing around. I've left my doors open. But I feel like we've been like waiting for a win, waiting for just like a little moment of like pressure off, and I feel like some of you might be experiencing that coming around about now, or just have within the last 2 weeks and will within the next 2 weeks. I don't know if it's like the full stride forward, but it certainly feels like just a moment to like catch your breath and like put yourself back together to like take on whatever the next step is of the path that you're on. There's been a lot of rebuilding, a lot of like creating new stuff. There's been a lot, I think, for water signs, a lot of taking an old or taking a hidden dream or passion or project and like bringing it to the public eye, or just coming out with it. And it's been a slower rollout than maybe you thought it was going to be, or it's been a little more stressful or whatever. And it feels like right now it's like this little bit of an upswing, but not so much so that like when the pendulum swings back, it's like a crash and burn. So this is good. The slow gradual upswing is good. So if you're having a moment right now where things feel good, let it feel good. All right, cards for you. Water signs for this summer solstice, for the summer. Pisces, Scorpio, and Cancer. Where are we at right now? Spiritual strength is the main card that comes out. And this, I think, is speaking to what I was just kind of talking about. This is having to like dive in deep and continue like trudging along this path that you have put yourself on, as long as the path is aligned with what you really want to be doing. If you're making those choices, it does require spiritual strength to continue down that road. When things get rocky, we want to like let go and wave the flag. I can't do it, whatever. I want to go back to the old way of doing things. I want someone to do this for me. I don't want to be responsible for my own destiny, my own outcomes in life, right? And we are collaborators with the universe. So spiritual strength is digging in and trusting spirit. That's your own spirit. That's the higher ups, your higher self, your guides, the oneness that is all of us in the cosmic pulse. It is digging into that and trusting that. All right, let's get some more clarity here for water signs for our Pisces, Scorpio, and Cancers this summer. What's going on? Asking, what do water signs need to know this season? Ooh, interesting. Okay, beautiful. This is going to be all about beginner mindset. Even if you are good at what you do, try to remain a student so you get new beginnings. I love that. This is great. I love this for us. We like new beginnings. A lot of water signs, Scorpio specifically, maybe I'm just talking for me, but death and rebirth and changing and flowing with things are flowing with the tides of things are constantly things that we are doing. But following new beginnings is reversed awareness, and this is why I'm saying keep a student's mindset. We don't know everything. We can tap into the information available to us, but not if we are rigid in our ways and being like, I know what's best. Like open up this space and be willing to receive new information on the path that you're on, right? What does that look like? Like Wizard Kathy Bates, right? Is that who that is? Sorry, that light. All right. What do our water signs need to? Ooh, I love that. I was asking, what is it that you should expect for this summer season, for this solstice season, this Cancer season? What to expect? Positive movement forward. What was I saying before I started pulling cards? We are moving forward. We are doing the thing. We're on the path. We are on an upswing. Continue. Don't get too comfortable in the upswing and then relax back too much and fall back into some old patterning and, you know, don't lay off the gas on what you're doing, but revel in the fact that you are moving forward and that you are being rewarded, recognized, paid, whatever, for the stuff that you're doing. This is good. You're allowed to have good things. It's allowed to feel good. Okay, something just to pay attention to, and this to me feels like the catalyst for water signs that have maybe gotten this here. Heartache and loss. A lot of grief has probably set you on the track that you're on now, whether or not you recognize it. I know for my own personal life, big time grief, big time loss was a great catalyst towards getting out of my own way, right? And so I feel like maybe I'm getting a lot of this kind of emotional stuff. For Cancers, we know that maybe there's a lot of heartache and loss that's like living under the surface that you're not really talking about. Are you even acknowledging it for yourself? For our Pisces, we know that they probably are talking about it. We love them for it. They are outward with their emotions. But this thing, the pulse of this might still be in you, and that's okay. I'm hearing not to have shame around it. I'm hearing that it's okay that this might be what created the, not that it might be okay. It is okay that this is what's created the motivation for the path forward for you. And if you're dealing with, I don't know why shame is being so loud right now, but if shame is coming up around these kinds of heavy emotions, Spirit is asking you to soften with yourself, to soften with the fact that this is part of it, and like almost can you have gratitude for the ouch, for the pain that came your way to stick you where you're at now, even if you're not to the other, if you're not to the other side yet of where you're headed. Because the truth of it is you don't ever really get to the other side of it, do you? You just continue down, ever evolving, ever changing as the road forward continues in your life, right? All right, to close out, what does Spirit want our water signs to know? For Pisces, Scorpio, and Cancer. A message for you. Two. Oh, okay. Universe, upright. Heart chakra card, reversed. And I think this is also kind of talking to this like heartache and loss card I was talking about here. If you've got like shame around around sad feelings, around heavy feelings, be careful that shame around that space in the heart doesn't accidentally subconsciously leak out into those around you. You might be finding sometimes that you become really critical of others, maybe in a way where you're like, why am I like being like that? Why am I being so at people? Or why am I like throwing judgment at people? I don't really care about this kind of thing. Or you know, maybe like mean thoughts at people are kind of crossing your head and you crossing your mind, and you're realizing like you're like, that's not even the way that I like to operate. Like, why would that be happening like that? And the reason why I'm saying that is this heart chakra just feels like it's been a little bit wounded, it's a little bit shut down, and the universe is saying, hey, like turn that shit around. Like, look what's all available. Remember that you are this, they are this. The people that you are casting judgment on, the people that maybe you have, wherever your heart has hardened, they are also you, because you guys are this. We are this. And just to remember that. Remember that as you move forward. If there's any frustration in the heart space, just try to soften it. Soften it towards yourself so you can soften it towards others. And remember that you are this just as someone else is also this. Water signs. Water signs for summer solstice. You are on a good stride. You are in a new beginning path. You're moving forward, diving into your spiritual strength, softening the heart towards yourself, towards others, and remembering the expansiveness of all that is and the possibility that you might not even be aware of, and let that be cool. All right, later. Okay, we are now diving into fire signs. If you're watching this whole video, which I think I'm gonna make this as one whole video, we are going through all of the elements. So, right, we just did water, we're going into fire. Fire signs, Leo, Aries, and Sag for your summer solstice reading. This is what is up for you, the collective fire signs. What is going on? I gotta tell you, it's feeling real flirty for you fire signs. I'm feeling like, we know that Leo season is big and bold, but I feel like for all fire signs right now, it feels like really flirty relationships. It feels like potentially situationships wanting to take a little bit of a turn towards something more serious, and it feels like fire signs are going, actually, no. Maybe that's okay, but just don't be a dick about it. Fire signs though, it's feeling like a good time for you. Let's see what the cards would say for you. For our fire signs, for our Leo, Aries, and Sagittarius, what is going on this summer solstice? What is up for our fire signs? Wow, crazy, because this is exactly what our water signs got for the first card, spiritual strength. This feels of a different texture than the water signs. I'll pull some more clarification cards on this one, but to me, this one is feeling like, it feels like this is like, the undercurrent of this feels like temptation of something. It feels like ego in a good way. It kind of feels like I'm gonna get mine, which is fun and nice. But the spiritual strength card coming up here is saying like, hey, remember what got you here. Which, you know, I don't know what your practice is, right? I don't know, you know, what your spiritual practice is, but your higher self, the higher ups, the cosmic pulse, all that stuff that I talk about, it's just saying like, remember, don't lose track of this part. This is all happening now because you had something established. So remember to remain strong in whatever that system is, to remind yourself of the side of you that is spiritual. Because it feels like maybe the summertime is very much so in the world, in the fun way, in like the hedonistic way, and there is no shame in that. It's not like a bad thing. It's just like, remember, it's not only that. It is not only flirty sundresses with your butt cheeks out, which is okay if it is. That also is maybe a spiritual practice. All right, some clarity on this though. Let's see what the cards have to say. Maybe I'm full of shit. Spiritual strength. All right, so clarity for fire signs for Leo, Aries, and Sagittarius. Clarity on this, please. In my last video, I had shit on my face, and I just have to keep it because it's just the reading. There we go. Material, spiritual prosperity is a clarifier for the spiritual strength. So remember how we got here. We're on a stride. How did we get here? Ways of the world, hedonistic things. That's great. Prosperity and material things is great, and spiritual prosperity. All of this is good. Just remembering how, like, all the pieces of the puzzle that get you to where you are. Ooh, sweet. And memories of love is contributing to this like spiritual strength thing. I like this. It can be kind of maybe a sad nostalgic card a bit, but this feels more of like a sweet motivator. If we can keep it sweet, if that makes sense. Like, don't let it be spiteful memories of love. Let the memories of love in correspondence to spiritual, or in relation to spiritual strength, be a driving force, maybe in service to a relationship that you had, romantic, platonic, friendship. Feels like family. Feels like some like really big, feels like some like healing of like mother wound type stuff for a lot of fire signs. I know this is like going off on a different way, but that is what I'm feeling. It feels like there is some, I'm feeling like strings deeply attached. I'm seeing cords deeply attached to like some mother stuff, and like returning a perspective to love and care around mothers. If there's ever been like this undercurrent of resentment, or even something that goes unnoticed a little bit, and this may be from subconscious becoming conscious around some mother stuff. It feels like maybe a motivating catalyst in life has been something around the mom. I'm feeling for a lot of you, specifically Leos, to be honest. I'm feeling that, and it feels like a lot of stuff has been done in spite of, and it's just asking you to like soften that a little bit. And I'm hearing to prompt or to say to you guys, you might not have chosen your mother here on this side of things, but the way that things played out is exactly how they needed to play out. And if you believe in this kind of thing, it's agreed upon that you were going to be your mother's child anyways, and you needed to be your mother's child. And the pieces of your mother that have contributed to who you are the reason why you have gotten to where you are. So can you be in that space of love with boundaries and not spite, because that's how we got to this like fun and flirty, really prosperous, butt cheeks out in a sundress energy that I'm seeing for our fire signs. This is feeling very Leo, probably because Leo season is next. Creatively for Aries, it feels really, really strong, just in like a general thing. I feel like there's like a lot of inspiration happening here. And for Sagittarius, I don't know why this is coming up, but like, yes, obviously the adventure, but I'm seeing like mountain trips, like headed off. I don't know if it's like a solo trip. It feels a bit like a solo trip, but maybe you guys are pissed because you wanted some hot and steamy love stuff. But actually I'm seeing like a little bit of like a solo journey into new community, and kind of getting like some new friends involved in your life that like really kind of like spark new inspiration in your realm. So that's for Sagittarius. For Aries, it really feels whatever your creative medium is, I feel like you're stepping into like a big space of inspiration and like really wanting to show the world like what you've been creating, and collaboratively there's a lot of cool relationships coming up. And then Leo, we are working on this mom thing, or it could be your father too, but it feels very like feminine in this energy. But overall, fire signs, we are in a good way. It's juicy, it's fun, it's flirty. You're the hottie, and everybody knows it, and you know that kind of energy. I'll do one more thing. What does Spirit want you to know? Fire signs, what does Spirit want you to know? Solar plexus. I feel like this is absolutely your guys' like chakra center. So what did I say? That we are in this like really juicy space of being, that we're all on fire. This right here, solar plexus is here. Boom, big light. This is how I enter the room. This is the sun shining. This is literal fire. When that is turned on, you are secure. Your person, like who you are as a person, is feels more actualized and aligned, and people like you're magnetic, and people can more easily like see you for who you are. So solar plexus, great energy, great thing to be turned on for this summer. And I feel like if you are feeling like you're lacking in that space, it's going to turn around with this inspiration, with all this kind of stuff I'm talking about. This energy is going to like flick that switch on, and if it's already on, you're like a little rocket ship into the summer. So this is a good time for you. Just remember to occasionally tap in, to stay grounded, to find like a little bit of humility if you find yourself kind of getting caught up. Okay, bye. All right, we have done water signs, we have done fire signs. I'm now going into earth. We're going into earth signs, your summer solstice collective reading for the earth signs right now. That's what's happening here. Earth signs, you're being really stubborn, but this is obvious about you. But the stubbornness that I'm feeling for you as a whole is creating quite a bit of sadness and disconnect, and I'm feeling like you're not able to like pinpoint exactly what it is, because you're not willing to look at what it is that you're being stubborn about. And it's something that this is for all earth signs, because I would say I could try to like pick these apart, but all earth signs are holding on to something in them that they have like either like a lot of anger about towards themselves. There's some like self-shamey guilt type stuff that's going on inside of earth signs, and to each earth sign it's on a different I would say it's like a different level of awareness as to what this is. Capricorn feels maybe the hardest on themselves, but unwilling to look at it really. And then unwilling to look at it in a way that is productive. We're looking at it, we're fixating on it, and we're making it a problem. Virgo, I feel like, is being really hard on themselves, but is kind of doing this like weird spin out. That's what I'm feeling. There's this like weird, there's like this, I just see like this like analytical mind is like freaking out instead of just saying like, oh, okay, this is a thing that I feel bad about within myself. Like, let me take this energy I'm spinning out with and like use it to change their behavior or to like soften with myself. All of this has to do with softening themselves. And Taurus, you're the least. I don't really feel like it's that heavy for you guys. I don't feel like there's like this like big guilt thing. To me, it kind of feels like weirdly for you right now, like a little bit of like the social anxiety. That's the best way I can describe the texture here for you, Taurus. Like it feels like normally like everything is like out and good and everything is like chill, but like people getting close to you right now feels, there's a little bit of this like, oh, like don't see me for, so there's some like hiding that's happening. So like maybe it's words of like shame and, you know, all that stuff that I'm throwing across the board for earth signs are like too big of a word, but it definitely is this, there's some like blanket lack of self-acceptance happening within earth signs this summer that let's look into that. Also, Capricorns, I was being hard on you, but it's true. There's something about it where it feels too big to look at. Not actually, but I'm just saying like in your system, it feels too big to look at the thing. And the thing is, if you like look at it, it's not like, look the monster in the eye, and it's not usually as bad, or as bad as you make it in your own mind. It's not as bad. Whee. Okay, yeah, all right, interesting. So asking us like, what is it you need to know? What's going on here? So this, what did I say? It's you're being hard on yourself about something. I like this card coming out for you guys upside down. Foundations and achievements reversed. That is a really good indicator for me, like what this is feeling like. This feels like I'm not doing enough. I wasn't enough. I don't know how to do enough. Like that kind of energy. I want to be this thing, but I don't know how to be that thing. I don't know if I can be that thing. Or feeling like you have failed someone around you or yourself or something like that. It feels like there's like these lofty goals and you're not able to, in your own mind, meet them because you kind of create hurdles for yourself. And then those hurdles become this fucking like cage of the mind that you have, and all this energy that's coming out around achieving and then not being able to, or like these like whatever. That's the mess that you're putting yourself in. The summer is gonna be okay for you. I just want you to like, Spirit is just asking that you take note of some of this. Like the harder you are on yourself, it creates more of the same. Lighten up on yourself. Lighten up on others, perhaps. Water signs had something similar, like soften the heart a little bit, because if you soften the heart towards yourself, you can soften the heart towards others. Something I'm hearing that is really big is something that I do whenever I'm feeling real crunchy at people. I start, and like the L word, love, is a hard one for me to say, but if I start getting kind of at people, in my head I tell them, I love you, I love you, I love you. To begin to like add the humanity back to the people that are around you, to remember that they are just another reflection of you. Right? And if you're hard on yourself, you are hard on others. You become critical. Make it okay to fail, I think, is something that I'm hearing for earth signs. Let's see. Yes, make it okay to fail, but also accelerated motion. That's good. You guys, I think what's happening here is that maybe things are moving much slower than you want them to be moving. Relationships, career, just dynamics in your life in general, creative projects. It feels like in your system that things are fucking crawling. And though I understand why it's feeling like that, you are still moving forward. And what slows you down is this like gripping that you have towards being hard on yourself. Or critical. If you're critical of others to a really big degree, it is a reflection of yourself. So if you're not seeing that, if you're like, I'm actually perfect, and everyone else is dumb, that is an indicator that you need to reflect that back onto yourself a little bit. I'm not calling you dumb, but I'm saying that you need to look at why you think that about people as a whole, kind of thing. Okay, let's keep going. Virgo, Taurus, and Capricorn. What do you need to know this summer? I am sensing that there is like really, really, really sweet, tender, like love and care available to you. I don't know if it's like fully romantic or like within new friendships, but there's like a softening that is available in your life, and these new relationships that are gonna come in. They're actually gonna like show you how to be a little squishier in these specific things I'm talking about. like I'm seeing like turning a boulder into jello a little bit in a good way. Still has its structure. What should Earth signs expect this summer solstice season? One card, please, or something. I'll tell you what this is. I need clarification card on it, though. This card always, when it comes up this way, is interesting to me. All right. All right, Earth signs. We get sacrifice reversed. What do you need to know? What do you need to expect? Sorry. And emotional loss. Don't worry, okay, about this. I'm not saying that your summer is doomed for some like heartbreak. What I do think is going to happen here is I think there's a lot of this to me feels like grieving a version of yourself. This doesn't feel like you're grieving like a relationship, or it could, you know, those things happen. That can happen to anybody at any time. We all know this. But this to me, the way that I see this is when I'm talking about like the gripping and parts of identity and things that maybe you're hard on yourself about, that's still a part of your identity. Even being hard on yourself or whatever this is that I'm talking about is part of an identity that you've cultivated that for some reason makes you feel safe and secure, even if it's an insecurity type thing. But it feels to me that this summer is going to ask you, especially if like when I was talking about this like chance for like tenderness that comes in, I think this tenderness is going to be really confronting, and that will make you have to reflect on certain parts of yourself, and there will be a period of mourning old pieces of yourself that really aren't helping you anymore, and you know this, but it's also like, you know, whatever these traits are, that they've kind of become like an old friend, an old you know, a companion in your life that you've known yourself to be, and we're releasing that. We have to release it, and the longer there's like the gripping on it, if we don't sacrifice this part, it just hurts more. What is the thing? Let go or be dragged is what I'm hearing. It's gonna be okay for you guys this summer, because ultimately you're getting tenderized, but in like a nice way. You're just gonna have to like reflect a little bit. There's some reflection, and then there's some softening, and that's like beautiful, because then I think you get to have like really beautiful experiences during and following this great softening. Okay, Earth signs, have a good summer. It's gonna be okay. Later. Okay, y'all, last but not least, air signs. I'm doing air signs, which are Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Summer solstice, summer season, tarot, and reading for our air signs, Gemini, Aquarius, and Libra. Let's go for you guys. And I keep forgetting to say this, but this is for sun, moon, and rising. So any of your signs, sun, moon, and rising, watch all the videos, whatever. All right. For our air signs, what do we need to expect this summer solstice for Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius? All right, classic for you guys. What I'm feeling is this summer does feel, it feels like you're hanging up the hat on your regular situationships kind of vibe, and it feels like maybe you're going, I don't want to say that you're going out full solo, which is very much so like your guys' vibe, right? I'm also Aquarius rising, so like I understand to some degree, but it does feel like there's a shift in the way that you guys are holding relationship. And I'm hearing that perhaps not so much for Libra in the same way, because Libra is the little flirt. But I guess you'll have this too, Libra, but I think it's going to look different for you. I feel like Gemini and Aquarius specifically feel like they're going to have a moment of like empathy. It's like a deepened sense of empathy for people, but it doesn't feel like it comes via a hard blow this summer. It feels like what happens is that there's and I'll explain Libras in a minute, but it feels like there's like a moment where I'm witnessing y'all connect with a community or with an individual, and it seems to kind of like lock you into like, oh, I can see how I operate in a way that is like more aloof or more detached, and how that in a lot of ways serves me, but doesn't always in like this new level of connection that I think I want to have. That's the things I think I want to have. Where Libra, I'm hearing like they've always known that they want to have it. But to them, for Libra, it feels like they're cleaning up their mess a little bit more than the other ones. Don't feel like they're necessarily cleaning up a mess, but like recognizing where maybe these traits of themselves kind of fall short in getting the connection. Where Libra, I feel like gets the connection and then kind of can like mishandle it in a different way. Okay, I'll pull some cards, but that's what I'm getting for summertime for you guys, which is actually pretty cool. I mean, what if Libra and some of my earth signs from the other reading get into like cahoots with each other, and they like soften each other up and like create this like really beautiful little like empathy love gush puddle that's happening that okay, I'll stop, but I'm just saying like Capricorns and Libras, like maybe I'll need a holler. Okay, air signs: Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. What do you guys need to expect this summer solstice? Ooh, that makes sense. Okay, yeah. Fertility with Celine Dion here in the cards, right? Now, listen, one time I had pulled that card and I said, I always say that card's never literal, don't worry, it's like creative energy. I said that once and I was wrong. It was literal fertility, okay? So I'm not gonna say that that's not possible for y'all. But overall, in general, I don't think all of our air signs are getting pregnant. I do think that this is the energy I was talking about, right? Where you start to realize like, oh, I want to connect in a different way. I want a deeper connection. I want a juicier experience with the people around me. That can be romantic. That can be your friendships. That can be within community, your regular life stuff. It just feels like biting into like a big juicy peach. And like what you have been doing is like not doing that. But I think something that comes up for air signs is discontent and boredom. This card did come up, but I mean, why this comes up is I think the path to deeper connection means that you do have to wade through some of the surface experiences of human connection. Sorry about the flies, left my doors open. The surface experiences that lead you to deeper human connection. And I feel like you don't like to do that. You don't want to do that. You either want to like be there or like not do it at all. But the like frilly fluffy stuff is like so annoying. It's so, I'm bored of this. Like you want to just like be like in it or out. And so because you want these like juicier experiences, you're being called to like have to kind of like do that part that you don't really like, and just remember that that's part of the humanness of this all, and that you're like essentially earning the deeper levels of other individuals. And it's not that they can't meet you, it's just that they're on a different pacing than you are. Especially if you come off as an avoidant, or you are an avoidant. That's tricky, right? You want these like deep connections, but your like energy is aloof and detached. So why would someone give you a full openness and full access to their energy? You know, hello. I'm calling myself out too, by the way. This is not everything I say to all of you guys in all of these readings for every sign. It doesn't matter if I'm saying it to you, I'm saying it to myself, okay? All right, so this summer, that's what's happening. We're diving into big, juicy relationships. It's available to you. We're cleaning up some of the messes we make when we do enter into these like juicier relationships. It's not just for funsies. It's also, you have to remember to care for the person in front of you, or the group or the community in front of you. And yes, you might find that the way there might be a little bit boring in the beginning, because it's something that you've avoided. And I think that the avoidance triggers, oh, this is boredom, I should go, and that's not actually true. Okay, let's keep going for our air signs. This summer for air signs, what is up? Okay, love it. Air signs, this feels good. This feels really good, because look what's happening here. Fulfillment of wishes. This feels very Libra. I think it's for all the air signs, but this I think is coming through here. And power. This to me is speaking to this vulnerability that you're having to tap into, to this new way of having to approach people. And actually what you see is that it gets you the thing that you want, and you start to feel empowered. I do the fulfillment of wishes goes for all of the cards. But what I see in my mind is like this like little like Libra thing, like jumping up and down and whatever. Maybe they're the most excited about it. I feel like Libra is able to like have more of an outward expression of excitement around you know, getting needs met, where I wasn't flipping you guys off, my camera was doing something. Whereas the other two maybe were a little bit more like about it. But this feels like you guys are on this path trying to connect, trying to like deepen your relationships, trying to be someone that shows up in a different way than you have before, and you start to see that it's paying off and it's doing the thing, and it's fulfilling like some like deep needs that you don't need to be embarrassed or have shame around, but like deep needs around just like being a human, because you are, Aquarius. Most of you are humans, and it is empowering, and I think it like levels you up big time, and this feels really good. So all right, that's for my air signs for this summer. Lots of softening all around. I'm just thinking that maybe some of our air signs, some of our earth signs need to like have a little chat about some of this work that is going on, because they're a little bit similar but opposite kind of thing. Yeah, and Libras, go give a Capricorn a kiss with consent, obviously. All right, have a good summer, guys. Bye.